Today is an exciting day because we are headed to Central Oregon for Daniel's 50K.
Oh gosh, we'll see how it goes.
Well, no matter what, you're gonna do amazing. The house is a wreck. We literally leave in an hour. Today is also a very special day because we get to see my whole side of the family. Our whole family has not been together since last July. It's kind of a big day, so we're just packing up and getting ready to head over the mountain.
Yeah, I haven't packed anything, so this ought to be pretty interesting.
All right, we're off. Woo! Like a herd of turtles.
I saw the trunk. It was like maxed out.
If you're looking at the side, the back is definitely just sagging.
Got him!
We made it. T minus less than 24 hours to the race.
You ready?
As ready as I'm gonna be.
We just got to the Airbnb and now we're kind of just unloading, and the boys are riding scooters and we're waiting for the rest of the family to show up. But it's a beautiful day in Sisters. It's amazing.
Oh. Dude, you hit your shit, bro.
Whoa, there's a canal.
Well, it's 5:20-ish.
Yeah.
And
We have to leave in about 25 minutes because the race is like 45 minutes away from where we're staying. We got like 5 hours of sleep, which I know is so bad for you.
I have to go run over 30 miles.
You're gonna do so good though.
I'll be like half asleep while I'm running. Here we go.
Here, so you guys don't have to worry about anything here. Okay. You guys just focus.
We made it to Smith Rock. It's a beautiful day.
I'm so tired.
Yeah,
Already.
it's literally 6:42.
I forgot my phone at the house, so I'm gonna have to run probably the first like 13 miles or so without any music or anything.
Quarter of a mile, we call those confidence markers. That's to let you know that you are still on the course. Are you guys ready? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
We just got to the first aid station. We're gonna go see if we can find them. You okay?
Well, just went through the second aid station. Cramping super bad between the first and second aid station. I could barely walk. I feel a little bit better now, but still feeling like I'm on the verge of another cramp. But see how it goes. Goal is just to finish. When I started the training for this race, I never really had the intention of placing. I'm definitely not a runner long distance, but I want to challenge myself and do something that I didn't think I could ever do. So yeah, that's why the goal is just to finish. I know I could be doing better if I wasn't cramping so bad, but it is what it is. Okay, this is crazy. This path just keeps getting more and more muddy. And this is not the first time either. Definitely thought I was going the wrong way for a little bit, but there's other people coming this way, so yeah. All right, guys. Cramping again really bad. Haven't really stopped cramping since mile 8. Had a little bit of a break of it at the second aid station, but honestly, I've just been cramping this whole time. I can't even really run the flats or the downhills right now because I'm just cramping so bad. But no one in sight. So if I get stranded out here, you know what happened. Well, I got lost for a couple miles, and a couple people found me. They were lost too. And it took us a while to find how to get back on the trail. Still cramping, in a lot of pain because of that mainly. So, still extremely muddy out here. Goal is still to finish. Like, I wasn't gonna make cutoff because I'm still cramping right now. I have to walk like.
Wait, did you make it to the last aid station?
I only made it to the third.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you drove back from?
Mm-hmm.
Were you walking the whole time?
Mm-hmm. And I got freezing because I had just given you all my stuff. Stop cramping.
Oh, mile 8?
Yeah. And then I went off the trail for like a couple miles and someone found me.
Oh no.
Yeah. And then I got to the third aid station, like, you're not gonna make cutoff because I had to walk most.
So we're officially back from Central Oregon, and we kind of like left off pretty abruptly because it got kind of crazy at the end there.
So basically I felt really good for the first 8 miles, and at the first aid station I was feeling good, and then right after that I started cramping up. So from aid station number 1 to 2 I was cramped up the whole way, and then by the time I saw Joe and Joshua, I had taken like I took 3 salt tablets, 3 liquid IVs, pickle juice, like literally everything I could think of, and there's people there helping me. And I was feeling good. I started running after that second aid station I started running, and about another quarter mile in I cramped up again. And so I was cramping basically for 12 miles. I made it to the third aid station, but before that I got lost, and I didn't even know I was lost, so I went off the trail like a couple miles, and I only knew I was lost because people found me, and they had gotten lost and they found me, and we ended up finding our way back. But I was so far behind from cramping up for like 12 miles that the sweeps, which are the people that come by and like pick up the cones at the end of the race, were like right on my tail. And I asked him, like, do I have enough time to like make it to cutoff, which is 8 hours at the last aid station. You have to be there within 8 hours. And they're like, yeah, you can probably make it. And then I told them that I'd been cramping for 12 miles, and they're like, yeah, I think you're done. Especially after I told them all the stuff that I took to help me with cramping. They're like, yeah, you don't want to take any more. And so I was unable to finish, but I went about 20 miles, give or take how far I went off the trail.
Yeah, that's true.
But it was definitely a good learning experience. I was going into it thinking like, this is going to be the hardest thing that I have ever done, and just thinking it was just going to be, just the hardest thing imaginable. And I got there and it was like 10 times harder than that. And so it was definitely really hard, but it's definitely doable. My training for this race was not very good because I got injured a couple times.
At that second aid station that he like saw me and Joshua at, there was my sister and then 2 other friends that were running it, and they all came through, and there was still like no sight of like Daniel or anything, and they're like, oh, like they just kept saying that he was like behind them, and I was like getting kind of worried because I was like, usually he will like stick pretty close to the pack. And then it was like 30 minutes after they had gone through, and then some other runner comes up to the aid station, and she was like telling the people that worked there, there's this like boy dressed in all black back there who's like cramping up really bad. And I just looked at Joshua and I was like, I know exactly who that is. I felt so bad. I was like, oh no. I was like, no wonder he's so far behind the other ones. And then sure enough, like a couple minutes after she said that, Daniel comes like jogging in, and I was like, are you cramping up? He's like, oh yeah. He's like, I've been cramping up for the last 4 miles. We like thought he was all good to go, and he had forgotten his phone at home at the Airbnb, so me and Joshua went back to grab it after the start, and then we met them at the second aid station, and we gave him his phone, and then I can like track him with like Find My Friends or whatever. And so we were doing that the whole race. it was like kind of hard to tell where he was compared to like the race map and everything, but we thought he was doing good. And then like McKenna finished and one of our other friends finished, and we're thinking like Daniel was gonna finish in the next like 30 minutes to an hour. And then all of a sudden I like check his location and he's on a highway. And I was like maybe the trail like goes by a highway, and then it just picked up your location on the highway. Then he was like moving like pretty fast like on the highway, and I was like, oh no. I like showed the whole family. I was like, guys, I was like, Daniel's in a car on his way back. And then I get a text from our other friend who's out there, and he was like pretty close to Daniel, and he goes, hey Joe, he's like, I don't think I can make it. I was like, oh no. So like Daniel was in a car on the way back. 2 of our friends had just finished, and then one friend was like dying out in the wilderness. So Dawson went to go pick him up.
One of the coolest parts is the running community. Like, definitely everyone would like stop and see if I was okay, or they'd give me like salt tablets or just whatever I needed. So that was definitely really helpful. But my watch like died, so I didn't have any idea of like when the next aid station was, because I was tracking it, because I knew how far it was between aid stations. And so when I saw Joe and Joshua at the second aid station, I like right before that I was like just cramping up so bad that I couldn't even like hardly walk. But then I saw them, like, all right, I'm just gonna like, I don't even know, try to run, but it was like not even really a run to the aid station, and like try to get whatever I can in me. I think the most frustrating thing was just cramping up for so long, and just knowing that like it wasn't just like pain from being out there for so long. It was like literally my legs were locked up and I could barely even bend my knees. And so like it was frustrating knowing that like I felt good other than that. But I'm still so new to running. Like, this was only my second race ever, and it was kind of asking a lot of my body to do this when I had like bad training and stuff. So, but I learned a lot, and
You still did so good. Like, I'm so proud of him for just going out there and just giving it his best.
But it takes a lot for me to quote unquote give up, because I'm stubborn and I'm competitive, so I did not want to give up. But when the race workers and volunteers told me that I wasn't going to make cutoff, like if you don't make cutoff, you can't like run anymore. And so if there wasn't any cutoff, I would have just like literally hobbled my way the rest of the race. But like, it's not allowed anymore if you can't make the cutoff, and I just wasn't going to be able to do it in time. So it was kind of disappointing, but I had a lot of time to think about it, and like just when I was out there in the middle of nowhere, not knowing where I was so mad. I was like, why did I do this? This is the dumbest thing ever. Like, I'm never running again in my life. But now I'm so determined to go back and like do really well. So.
And then when I saw him on the highway, like coming back, I was like, either like he didn't make cutoff or he's like incredibly injured, because I was like, I know that Daniel would just like not just like throw in the towel because it was hard, you know? And so I was like tracking us, like, are they going to the hospital or are they coming back here?
Yeah, overall it was like a really fun experience, and it was fun just being with family this weekend. So that was really awesome. I am still disappointed that my legs were so cramped up and I wasn't able to finish, but just taking it and learning from it, and next time just doing better, and like just learning my body and what it needs for this type of sport. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching this vlog.
It was fun, yeah, just being with family and seeing him do something that he's never done before. And then also just having all the family there, just like supporting him and my sister and our other friends too. It was just really cool to see.
McKenna, your sister, she did really well. And
yeah, she like placed like first in her age group, so it was a really good day.
Super good
for her.
We'll see what happens next year, but I got a whole year to train.
Yeah. So definitely stay tuned to next year's race. Hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. It was definitely a lot of just like random clips. We will see you guys all next week. Bye!
I like to be educated.